was a stripe of white going from left to right. And then green went across his neck and chin and his mouth. Then he started talking to me. And this is what he said. He said, I had been a terrier in a previous life and I had a porn problem. So he was a terrier with a porn problem. And as he said that, he stuck his tongue out and panted like a dog. Is that far out or what? Okay, next vision. White elephant. I saw a small white elephant, a little bit bigger than our cat Petey, and he was emerging from a dried lake bed, and he was wearing a red sash around his neck with a gold medallion on it. This next one is an event, but it incorporates vision time during this event. And this was an anointing with a very talented anointress or priestess, high priestess. Her name is Elise. Here we go. As I first laid onto the table, face down, the first thing I saw in the center of my field was my beloved from my Lyran Incarnation. She was a white lioness with our baby white cub on her back in a leather backpack. She was standing on a knoll, and the grass had small rolling hills and red grass. The next thing I saw in the upper right side of my field was Spider Goddess. She surprised me in being there. She wasn't even on my radar. As Elise was starting and working on my arms, I started to slowly drift out of my body. For the entire session, I was completely out of my body. As she moved down towards my legs and started pulling negative energy out, Spider Goddess was above us. And Spider Goddess was rotating her abdomen and spinning a cocoon. Then the negative energy was going into the cocoon. When it was filled with energy and sealed, the cocoon glowed very bright, and all the negative energy inside was transmuted and sent to the light. This happened 3 times during our session. After that happened, I flipped over onto my back, and as Elise was working on me, I was looking down onto my body from above, as if I was standing up and looking straight down on my head. I saw that my head and body were changing different shapes. My hair was changing different colors, my head and face were changing, and my body shape and size were changing. I see that this was a reflection of all of my previous incarnations. As this was happening, I slowly came to the front of that body that was morphing. As I did so, that body became a very bright light body glowing of white light and a pink aura. As I saw this, then I felt my human body glowing with that light as the light wrapped around my whole body on the table. The next thing that happened, I saw my life in Egypt. I was stung on my foot and killed by my scorpion queen. All I could see was her looking for love and acceptance that she was not getting. Or she was looking in other places, and I could see her striving to better things. I saw that I needed to forgive her for my death. Then another scene came into view when my beloved and I were together in the indigenous Paiute Tribe in Central Oregon. At this time, I was known as Midnight Stone Talker, and she was Walking Willow, and our son was running with the wind. I had created a very powerful spiritual piece of obsidian, a six-pointed star. A member of a neighboring tribe wanted that six-pointed star that I had created and that I had put all of my energy into. He had taken our son hostage to exchange him for the six-pointed star. He ended up killing my son and killing myself to get the star. As I watched this from above the table, I saw him for what he really wanted: love and family. Since he did not have any of these things, he wanted to take these things away from other human beings. As I saw this, I forgave him for his actions, for killing me and my son. Seeing these things, accepting, acknowledging, and forgiving enabled me to open my heart with more acceptance and releasing those situations and stories to the light. After this, I felt my Lyran presence. I did not see anyone, but I felt the frequency. I felt nobility, empowerment, unconditional love, strength with family and loved ones, and taking care of each other. This feeling was so empowering. And then the last thing that I saw were three geometric shapes, and they were in the shape of three diamonds. Okay, February 2024. Chieto. Before going to sleep, I had asked my higher self for the name of my shaman in Peru that came to me in my last vision. The name I was given was Chieto. It means God leads. During this incarnation, when I was Chieto, when I was a member of the Brotherhood of the Crescent Moon, we used ancient star knowledge to do our work. This was a long time before the Spanish arrival and before the Inca fully came into their power. I lived in the Sacred Valley. The valley was a living, breathing consciousness, and the Apus were my allies and guides. Our brotherhood were portal keepers. We were tasked with maintaining the vibrational balance of the sacred crossings of Gaia's energy ley lines. The crescent moon was our symbol because it represented the doorway between seen and unseen worlds. I was a guardian weaver. I would know when and where the portals would be most active. I would use my voice to sing ancient star songs that would tune to star frequencies and open the portals. I would work with the masculine solar energies and the feminine lunar energies, and I would balance them in my body before singing them to the land. Our brotherhood was trained by the high-frequency elders of Machu Picchu. These elders could see beyond time. They tended a living portal that connected Gaia to the Pleiades and the Middle Earth realms. Machu Picchu was known as the Temple of the Sky Ladder. And now I am being shown what I believe is pipestone. It is long and rectangular in shape, and the top is completely curved like a half circle. Along the top of this arc, I am shown light language. March 2024. This vision is called Past Lives. I am standing at a counter, and there is what looks like a placemat in front of me. And on each side of the placemat, there are two rods about 12 inches long. These rods allow you to see your past lives in front of you over this placemat. My next vision. It looked like a stick man. I was in space, and I dropped out of the bottom of a large ship. I'm thinking I was in a smaller ship, but I never saw the ship I was in. As I dropped away, I saw the doors underneath the large ship, and they closed. The first thing I thought was, huh, those doors look like a stick man. There were 5 doors that all closed together, and their seams or joints look like a stick man. Then I drifted away from the ship, seeing the underneath, and it was very, very large. When I came out near the back of the ship, I don't know who was moving, me or them. But then I drifted to behind the ship, and I saw the back. It was a tan brown color, and I didn't see any engines. The back of the ship was tall, maybe 10 stories tall. A few days later, I had this next vision. I was told Abbott Galaxy. Then I was shown 3 white-robed beings, and I was told, I've been passed to the ship Burimista. Early this morning, my beloved looked into these things. She was told to go outside. She saw a star, or a ship, move and then vanish into the dark early morning sky. Yes, I've been on that ship. The 3 white-robed beings were the White Brotherhood. Last night when I couldn't sleep, I had energy moving in between my shoulder blades, but deeper, in towards my higher heart. The beings were doing work on my higher heart, and they were on that ship. My next vision, blue avian. I had made a bird bath out of volcanic basalt, and I used copper wire to create a sun up above it. It is suspended with copper wire between 2 posts and a beam that connect them across the top. Last night, a blue avian came into my field. I saw him from the chest up. He bowed his head, and it appeared he was getting ready to speak. And then he was gone. Today, this afternoon, it was hot. It was in the 60s. I was laying on the grass in the front yard. I had my eyes closed, and an avian popped his head into my field and then out. Peekaboo! I'm starting to really like the avians. They make me laugh. March 23rd, portal. This was portal work that we had done. So we started with a meditation, bringing Metatron's gold light down through all of our chakras and coming together with heart coherence. Our energies were now connected. As the frequency was starting to rise, I used my Lemurian quartz to trace and cut the outer opening of the portal to release the top. Then the 2 women grabbed their staffs and stood opposite each other to align the energies as they were starting to move up through the floor. Then, Brother Vince and I came in on the opposite sides with our staffs to balance the energies and bring in the highest of energies to energize and open the portal. When the portal was opening, I could see a column of light going from the floor all the way up through the top of the yurt and into the ether. The column of light was black at the bottom. As it went to the top of the yurt, it was a gradient, and it started to get lighter and lighter until it hit the top. When that happened, a blue bird flew from the bottom of the floor all the way up into the column of light, swirling as it was flying up and leaving a trail of DNA behind it as it flew into the ether. Then I could feel my light body merge with my human. I could feel the sensation that my light body was having. Feeling arms and fingers and hands and feeling the legs of this solid body. And as it was also a light body, my body, I could feel it in my arms and my legs, and I was filled with energetic light filaments. Okay, everyone, that's our episode for today. There were a couple cool spots in there, and anyway, I just want to remind you to shine your light and raise your frequency. And I send all of you much love, and it's that time of year. Happy holidays.